Oh. Yeah, this is a good one. I'll watch this. Asked about our boy Asmongold about the Dragonfall interview. Oh my god, this is an hour and a half. I can't watch this shit.
Fucking same shit the New World did. Oh, well, we want people to go out and explore the world. We want to give it a sense of grandeur. We want to get the fuck out of here, man. You're walking over to kill 3 wolves and then you're walking back. Nobody wants to walk back. It takes too long. It's like even... all the people, whenever you have a conflict of the ideal versus the reality, in my opinion, the reality always wins. And that's what I think happens. And Death Knights are all over the goddamn place. Death Knights are extremely good. Like, Death Grip is a... like...
take all those down with your normal abilities.
And for example...
unique, and they should not have a specific purpose for, like, end game. Like, you should not need a unique ability to be able to complete a raid or a mythic dungeon or anything. You should be able to take all those down with your normal abilities.
And for example, on is
okay,
and you're right.
It's an advantage, but is it necessary? Like, the way you're making it sound, Asmon, is you're making it sound like you need these things to do it.
Oh, you don't need this. Absolutely not.
It's just a purposefully misunderstanding. The thing is, there's a lot of dumb people out there that disagree with me. I mean, I can't argue against every single one of them, man. Like, what am I gonna do? Like, argue against that guy? Actually, it's just dumb. Like, why would I even waste my time? No, it's just a guy's opinion. Yeah, it's just like, who cares? I mean, I don't know. Like, anybody would know that a death grip is useful. Like, so the game shouldn't be designed like nothing can be death grip. Then why is death grip in the game? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think that I had I don't think that I had a I don't think it was a crazy take to say that they should make the unique utility that certain classes bring more available. I don't think that's crazy at all. I think that's something they already did this with battle res. Like, for example, in vanilla WoW, and I think also in BC, you could only battle res if you were a druid, and then they changed it, and then you could only heroism if you were a shaman, and then they changed it. So, like, how is it that death grip and gateway, we just can't possibly do that with death grip and gateway? How's it done without homogenization? Well, it is homogenization. But that type of homogenization, I think, is better for the game. Like, homogenization is not fundamentally bad. Base all classes should just be auto attack and butt rotation, then everything's viable. Well, I think that, like, any sort of logical extreme is stupid. There's no requirement for this abilities like that. You wouldn't have to give every class the abilities. Yeah, but if you remove the requirement, you have to... Like, I think that, in my opinion, I think that there should be special abilities because they make the game more interesting. But I also don't think those special abilities should be game defining and exclusive to one class. Didn't we cry about that in MOP, though? Who's we? Let's see. Lots of people complain about everything in WoW. Like, that's not, there's nothing special about that. I mean, everybody has like dumb opinion. Like, there's been people that complained about everything. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back and then we'll be ready. If they change it though, that would imply there's an issue. Well, it would imply, no, that's not really true. I mean, like, they got rid of Master Loot and then they brought Master Loot back. I mean, like, they're gonna bring it back. So like, every change that they make doesn't necessarily mean that it was the right decision. I'll be right back. I'm back. Cookies, yeah. Dental work appointment, it's going to be on the 24th. Got delayed, that's why. It's on the, it's the 7th or something. That's why. I know some people asked about that. Let's see. Oh, okay, we're not gonna click that. Ash's stream today. People are like complaining, Des making changes. The thing is, everybody complains about shit, right? It's not really a big deal. Like, you can't take every single time that people complain and assume that they're right. Okay. I'll finish my cookie and then we'll look at everything. Not first class Blizzard to make classes feel different while making mage summoning. Okay. Here's my argument. I would rather mages and warlocks feel the same than the game suffer on a functional level. Steam went off on MMOs. That was me, not you, my bad. Give me 1 second. Okay. Are we good? What, for off the wrong one? There we go. Okay. Let's see. I was gonna watch that Corey video. People want me to take a look at that. I might look at that. Probably. I could start off with that. Let's see. Watch later. Okay. New gen. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Are you kidding me? No fucking shot. No way.
What's going on, guys? This is JT here. Welcome back to Diablo Immortal. In this video, we're going to be talking about the newest crest that is coming to the game very soon.
Oh my
which
god.
Could be quite scary. I'm not exactly sure. Now, if you guys do not know, there are currently 2 different kinds of crests. You have the regular legendary crest. So anytime you get these regular legendary crests, whether it is from a Shadows event or there's multiple different ways to get these legendary crests,
it's the legendary.
If you obtain one of these crests, that means whenever you run your Elder Rifts, whatever gem, legendary gem you get is going to be soul bound to your account, which means you cannot sell that gem in the marketplace. Now, one thing to notice when you go to this crest merchant, if you get the Eternal Legendary Crest,
of course,
which is this one right here that you either buy with Eternal Orbs or you buy them with Platinum. Now, when you buy this with Platinum, this actually is a crest you can get once per week, and you can sell this crest on the market. So if you get a
So keep in mind that you can buy one of these a week as a free-to-play player, but people like Rich and Quinn were burning 10 of them every 3 minutes. Like, so you think about that, right? It takes you 3 months to do what Rich was able to do in 3 minutes. 10 weeks for a 10 pull. That's right.
A 5-star gem from your...
Well, this makes Tower of Fantasy look like the Salvation Army. Like, they're just giving shit away all the time. Oh, another yellow nucleus. Oh, wow, a gold nucleus. Okay, yeah, everybody gets one. All right. Yeah, sure, you could have one of these. Oh, my God.
Elder Rift from this one crest run, and trust me, it does happen. I see it on the Facebook group all the time. Then you can then sell that gem on the market and make yourself a ton of platinum. Make sure all you free-to-play players out there are definitely buying that Eternal Legendary Crest every single week.
That's
with
right.
the 1600 platinum.
Hell yeah.
Well worth it, no doubt
So
about
what's
that,
the
because
new
you never
one?
know when you could possibly get extremely lucky, right? And also, so these are the regular Eternal Legendary Crests, which obviously if you buy these with Eternal Orbs, you can then sell them on the market. So the new crest we have coming to the game is right here. And I do not know exactly how I feel about this, boys, but this is in the current game files. If you want to ask my opinion on what I think, I'm going to tell you anyway, even if you don't ask. So basically, I believe that this could be setting us up for a whole new row of legendary gems. So let's say,
obviously. The thing is, so what you have to understand is that basically these games, these pay-to-win games, operate the same way that Bernie Sanders says the United States operates, where like 99% of people only have, 35% of the wealth, and the top 1% have 75% of the wealth. Like, these games are the exact fucking same, where you have these super omega, like, Kraken level whales that are just fucking spending 10 grand. It's like, I saw JT did a video and he titled it something like the $1 million battleground, and nobody in there was winning $1 million. Nobody, the people winning $1 million are on the yacht and they're investors at Blizzard. All right, that's what it was, because he did a whale battleground, and everybody collectively at that point, if you added in everybody's microtransactions in the group on the whole team, it was over $1 million. So what a surprise, they're going to add in new legendary gems. This is what a lot of these games do. It's the same thing, like, I mean, Tower of Fantasy is doing this, where they're adding in Frigg, right? Who's like the hot, tall anime girl with massive tits and a sword. We might have to get that one. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm not getting this. Because the different, like, it's nuts, man. 2 swords, even better. And so, yeah, this is crazy. Of course they're going to add a new one in. Because those people, the thing is, it sounds crazy, but, like, the people that play the game, and they're investing, 10,000, 3,000, 5,000, like 20, 30, $50,000 into the game. These are people who are hooked through the gambling. So, like, if they beat the game by gambling and they win, right? They have all 5 stars. Well, they're just going to slowly drift away from the game because they already beat it. So what do? Well, you do the same thing Stake does. You add in a new slot. It's like, people get bored doing Anubis. They get bored doing the Zeus one. Well, then they can go play the Alice Cooper one. Or they can go play Dead, Dead, Dead. You always keep something else. You got to keep them on the hook.
Like 2 or 3 more 1-star gems, 2 or 3 more 2-star gems,
exactly,
and 2 or 3 more 5-star gems,
yeah,
and then having this orange crest that could be available buying through either eternal orbs or other ways of gaining this throughout the game,
right,
to run more Elder Rifts. That is kind of what I've been theory crafting, or what I've been thinking, like, because it's simply, if they come out with, they're going to come out with new gems, right? In a matter of time, they're definitely going to come out with new 1-stars, new 2-stars, new 5-stars,
yeah,
right? They're going to 100%. So when they do that, if they come out with the new gems and they just place them in the Eternal Legendary Crest, it would make the odds of getting a specific gem that you want really hard, right? And it would basically...
That's not a bug. That's a feature. Yeah, so it's designed that way on purpose. That is intended game design. So that way you have to do the exact same thing over and over and over.
Basically turn away people from running
yeah,
Elder Rifts with those crests, because it wouldn't simply be worth it unless you're just running it to gain platinum to buy whatever gem you're basically going for, right? So
well, it's not about that, because if you were able to do that deterministically, the thing is, like, they will get some people that will keep rolling to hope that they can get the individual 5-star of the new gem, even with every other gem in the loot pool. So, like, this is what happened with New World, for example, whenever they added in a new weapon. Is, you add in the new weapon, and then the weapon is stuck at 500 gear score. There's no modifier that increases your drops for the weapon. So you basically had, like before, you were leveling up everything together, but now a new weapon comes in, and it's being leveled at 500. So it takes exponentially longer to make progress, because you're only making progress on one item. Now, obviously, it's been improved, though. Now, how can it be so dumb and still have money? Well, because a lot of people are really good. Like, for example, there are people that can program a website, but they're autistic and they can't talk to somebody at a coffee shop. You know what I mean? Like, everybody's got different talent points in different places in life. Like, that's just the truth, right? And like, that's an extreme example, but there's many other examples that are less extreme.
Like, if they came out with a new selection of gems through a legendary crest like this, I think that would be a solid idea, because then it would give people the option, like, oh, well, do we want to go for Blood-Soaked Jade and Seeping Bile or whatever we need from the regular legendary crest, or do we want to use these and go for some of the new ones that do whatever they do specifically, right? Or this could be, who knows, I could be way off, man. I'm just speculating, to be honest. This could be a legendary crest that honestly is something that's a part of Fractured Plane, that then you turn it in, and who knows, maybe you just get more eternal legendary crest if you beat the right level to gain this crest. I doubt that's what it is, but it could be.
Whatever the thing is, here's how to figure out what it is. What will cause you to be able to to spend more money? I think that there's a good chance that this is either a more expensive version, or it's a special crest that is, if you use it, it adds new gems into the loot table. It doesn't replace the loot table, it just adds them into the loot table. So you have to spend even longer farming with it. That's what I'm kind of assuming. Yeah, use Occam's razor. I think they're using Occam's wallet. I think that's basically what's really happening here. What is the simplest solution in terms of how much money the company can make? And that's what's going to happen with Diablo Immortal. Now, I think it's that simple. There's really nothing else to say for it there. I think that Diablo Immortal, right? I mean, I tried the game out. And, like, I'm still playing Tower of Fantasy sometimes. I played Lost Ark. It's not that I refuse to play any game that has one of these systems in it. I just think that Diablo Immortal sucks. Like, that's all. Like, I played Diablo Immortal 10 years ago whenever it came out for the PC, and it was called Diablo 3. I don't need to do it again.
Some sort of primal gear turn in, like I've been talking about. I think primal gear is due to come in this game sooner than later, hopefully, to where we can obtain some sort of primal gear depending on what Paragon level you are. I think that would be very helpful. Also, I mean, what do you guys think that this legendary crest could be? I'm not going to sit here and speculate for days and days and days, because I had tons of different ideas. So I wanted to just give you guys my main idea, which is a whole new sequence of legendary gems. And this crest is used for those legendary gems. Again, I am just simply theory crafting. All I know is this is in the game file and will be coming to the game very soon. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to be used. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think this is going to be used for? Because I'm curious of your opinion. Anyway, guys, I am out of here for now. Peace out.
So there it is. I think they're probably adding in a new legendary gem that will enable you to get new legendary gems. Or sorry, a new legendary crest that will allow you to get new legendary gems. The reason why I think that is what will make them the most money. I think that also the new legendary crest will probably not overwrite the previous loot. It will just simply augment new loot on top of it. That way you can fully maximize the amount of money that a person has to waste in order to obtain what they want in the game. And honestly, if somebody's still playing Diablo Immortal at this point, they deserve it. I don't give a shit. The game is just, it's bullshit. It's a bullshit game. I don't know how JT plays it. I hope he comes and he plays Diablo 4. He said he will. And so that's going to be great whenever he comes over there and does that. Because any grinding in any other game like this would have already resulted somebody a spot on the leaderboards. It's just horse shit, man. That's all it comes down to. And it's not even a game, to be honest. That's right, Chris. You're right. 100%. It's not a game. Yeah, there you fucking go. And it's sad. I mean, let's read what some of the comments people think it is. It's a guaranteed 2 to 5 star. It'll be a trade-off between, do you want a gem power and gamble, or do you want a guaranteed and no gem power? Yeah, there'll probably be some sort of a trade-off. Let's see here. A gem for new level 10 gems. Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. It could be an easier crest to craft with reduced drop rates. Yeah, I'm sure that's the case. It's too fucking much, man. as I said, I don't understand why people play this game. I don't get it. I understand why people play Lost Ark or Tower of Fantasy or Genshin Impact because the game is fun. Maybe they just didn't play as much D3 as I did, right? I would imagine if I didn't play D3 as much as I did, maybe I would like Diablo Immortal more. I'll definitely say that. Yeah, I think so. Only costs 100K to get 5-star instead of 240K. Yeah, true. Let me link you guys the video. JT is, you know, he's the only person that I know that keeps up with Diablo Immortal. So anytime that he has news, I watch it, man. That's it. Did you watch the Ashes stream? No, I didn't. I'm going to wait for the recap video. I'm going to watch that instead. That's the way I see it. I don't mind games with micros, but if there's any pay to win, I won't play it. I quit WoW because of it. Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, again, like you should play whatever you have fun playing, and if you don't have fun playing a game that way, then don't play the game that way. Don't let anybody else tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Do what you want to do, because I mean, if you're not doing that, what the fuck are you doing? So that's the way I see it. And let's go back over. And I probably should watch, you know what? I'm going to watch this video, the Actman video, but first I want to watch the Corey video. Where is it? Let me see if I can find it here. What? Corey Kenshin. All right, so let's take a look at this. Now, this has been a big video. A lot of people have asked me to watch this. And I don't exactly know what's going on here at YouTube. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed this before, but I'm not black. And so I don't really know. I've never experienced any of this racism we've seen on YouTube. So let's see. Yeah, wait, what? Yeah, I know. And midway, make sure it's not too loud. I mean, they just turn it down on the edit. That's fine. So let's go back over. We're going to look at this. It came out a couple of days ago, YouTube racism and favoritism. And we'll see what that really is. Here we go.
I'm going to try my best to articulate this video as thoroughly, as plainly, as eloquently as possible.
I
don't want there to be any lost context. I don't want to just look like I'm coming out of nowhere having a temper tantrum because these things are happening. The allegations I am levying towards YouTube are extremely serious, and I'm taking this video extremely seriously.
Good. Let's see it.
YouTube.
All right.
You guys either play favorites, you are racist, or it's a mix of the two. These are the three options, YouTube. Which one?
I feel like with the Gideon and Actman situation, because both of them just got fucked over, one's white, one's black, I feel like YouTube is just massively mismanaged. And they're being crushed under the weight of unrealistic performance standards that cause the workers to do bad work. That's one factor. Now, I don't know if that's what he's talking about, though.
Which one is it? Here's
could
my
be
proof.
All three.
I've been doing
Let's
YouTube
see.
a long time, okay? I never want to be that guy, oh, it's because I'm black. Oh, these issues are happening because I'm black. There have been certain situations that I looked at kind of funny. I said, it could be because of that, but nah, I ain't gonna.
Yeah, you never really
I'm not
know.
trying to press that. I don't want to build that narrative around my YouTube channel. This time, I can no longer let it slide. This is the situation.
Okay, let's see it.
August 18th, I uploaded The Mortuary Assistant.
Right.
A lot of you would know it got age restricted because the following video I did, I let you guys know it got age restricted. YouTube didn't tell me why. I saw that all these other YouTubers were playing The Mortuary Assistant and only my video seemed to be age restricted. And I looked for like an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah, to find like a commonality. To find like, oh, well, every single video that, you know, got age restricted showed this scene or this boss or this frame.
I was scrolling all different types of people's
Yeah.
video. No one else's was age restricted. So I appealed to
It's like, how is it that somebody is not going to think that they're being singled out? You know what I mean? Like, that's suspicious. And again, like, is it because, and this is the other thing, right? Is it because he's black? Is it because there's somebody at YouTube that doesn't like him? Is it because it's being completely mismanaged? I don't fucking know. But it seems like a good idea to me that if you have somebody with 14 fucking million subscribers, you don't put somebody on their fucking account that's trying to fucking min-max a performance review. Hire somebody that knows what they're doing. It's insane.
Restriction. Hey guys, I'm not sure why mine got age restricted. Could you look into this? Appeal rejected. They doubled down. The policy team said, no, Corey, your video is restricted for good reason. We're not going to tell you why, but it's restricted. That's our final decision. I said,
yeah. And the thing is, like, I want to make it very, very clear that that is a bullshit response and it's never a final decision. Blizzard sent me an email and they said that it's a final decision. Nothing I say or do will get the decision overturned because that's how sure they are. I sent in an appeal. I explained the situation. I was unbanned in a day. Also on Twitch, my appeal was rejected. I make a video. The video gets 1 million or 2 million views. And guess what happens? I get unbanned. That's what it is. Its automated support team response was also automated. Yes, exactly. Automated response for an automated action. The thing is, here's what was so telling to me about this, is that whenever we watched the Gideon video yesterday, that he said that he got a response back from YouTube within 3 minutes of them reviewing his 20-minute video. So how do you review a 20-minute video in 3 minutes? What do you have, the hyperbolic time chamber? Is Doctor Strange doing this? How does this happen? Well, I'll tell you how it happens. It happens because somebody's under the gun and they're working at the YouTube support center and they have to process 35 tickets an hour. And if they sit there and they watch a 20-minute video, they lose points on their performance review. How do I know this? Because this is exactly what happens at a ton of other companies, and it's also what happened at the government. So, and this happened with my dad's division too at the IRS, is that people would not fully research and double check and double cross verify things because doing so would take so much time that they would lose points on their performance review. It happens at the fucking government. It happens everywhere. It sucks.
Okay. I get with my YouTube rep. I send him an email. Hey, could you look at this? This is some weird stuff going on. Only my video got age restricted. My YouTube rep, who isn't on the policy team, he looked at my video and he said, hey, it could possibly be this part at the end where the woman was battling some depression. And I'm just going to leave it there, lest this video also get age restricted just because I'm talking about it. So I looked at that part. The first thing I did was try to find other YouTubers who had that part, or at least a part similar. Now, Markiplier, I don't know if you'll ever see this, but I just want you to know I have a lot of respect for you, and I didn't mean...
But, and the thing is, before he says this, Markiplier is going to be on your side. Do you think he wants this to happen? Because it can happen to him too. Because he's going to obviously use Markiplier, watch at the same thing. Markiplier looked at it and he didn't get age restricted, right? Markiplier will fucking agree with this. He's a good guy.
To drag you into the middle of this. Your channel just happens to be a great reference point.
Yeah, exactly.
Because A, you're a really big YouTuber, and B, you're not black. So I can look at your channel, and then I can look at my channel and look at anyone else's channel.
All right, bro, like, shut the fuck up. You have 14 million subs. You are a massive YouTuber. Like, the only difference is the color of your skin. Like, Markiplier is fucking huge. Like, Markiplier is a lot bigger than he is, probably. But, like, they're both fucking huge.
And make sure that the things in the games that you play, that they're enforcing the rules equally to everybody. So I go to Markiplier's Mortuary Assistant Part 3, and he had the same situation going on, and his video wasn't age restricted. So I send the video to my YouTube rep. I say, hey,
why?
Markiplier has this situation in his video, but his isn't age restricted. Could you send that to the policy team and see what they say about that?
Yeah.
He said, wow, Corey, that's some astute detective work. Let me send this.
Because the thing is, like, you can't compete with people if your videos are being age restricted, because videos in the YouTube algorithm that are age restricted are suppressed more than videos that are not age restricted.
To them and see what they say.
So it's actively hurting his channel.
What do you think happened after that?
It's not like
I'll
it
give
just
you a
doesn't
second.
matter.
They came back.
Okay.
And they removed my age restriction. They took it off after they already rejected my appeal. I sent them the clip of Markiplier's video that has the same thing, and they removed it. Now, my YouTube rep, he was excited. He was, oh, great, this is awesome. Look, Corey, they took the age restriction off. I said, why? I expected them to triple down and give Markiplier an age restriction too.
That would be fair. That would absolutely be fucking fair. It's a double standard, yeah. So you got what you wanted. No, it's not about that he got what he wanted. It's that the company told him that it would not be reevaluated, and it was a bad decision. They doubled down on the bad decision, and the only reason this guy was able to get it fixed is the fact that he had a YouTube representative assigned to him that was able to solve the problem. So what does that say? That says that if you're under probably 300,000 subscribers, you're just getting fucked in the ass. That's what it is.
But they looked at Mark's video and they used that to verify my innocence. So I send my YouTube rep a lengthy email detailing my feelings about the entire situation, feeling like there was some
Just think about
favoritism at play. There was either that or some racism at play, and that I would like to sit down with the policy team and figure out why my video was flagged in the first place. Actually, number one, was it automated or was it a human that age restricted it in the first place?
I think that it was actually a human. I think that it was actually a decision made by a human, but the person made a bad decision. And they made a bad decision that is probably an outcome of some sort of performance rating at the YouTube review, like whatever apparatus reviews YouTube videos. I think that a legitimate person did it, and they made a half-assed decision because they're getting paid a half-assed wage. They've got to do a half-assed job to get done with a half-assed designed progress report or performance report. That's why. It's half-asses all the way down.
Number two, who was the human?
Why would they be racist? You know what fucking sucks about this? The fact that he accused them of that will probably get YouTube to respond, because YouTube cares about appearing like they care about different minorities. So it's actually fucked up whenever you think about it. That like YouTube probably, because like Actman had the exact same situation, and so they're probably only going to look at this because of that. You know, they're worried about saving face. So that way next February they can use these people for a month to explain how much they care about everybody, and the other 11 months make money off of weird pedo bait videos. That's why. Performative non-bias, yeah. It's fucking dog shit, man.
Human reviewer, because it's a human reviewer once you submit an appeal. Who was the human reviewer that doubled down and rejected my appeal?
Exactly.
Number three, why did it take Markiplier's clip in order for them to reverse the decision?
That's weird.
My YouTube rep gets
Like,
back
he
with
doesn't
me.
work there.
He wants to hop on a call. We get on the phone for about 10, 15 minutes, and I tell him, I've been feeling like this for a long time. I've been feeling like every single time that I come back to YouTube, I'm #1 trending for a few days, and then they find some arbitrary issue. They nitpick and they try and find something that they can incriminate me for and try to push me down. You don't believe me? What happened the last time I came back and I was #1 trending for like a week? They copyright struck me for a video that was in 2019 or something like that. Why don't these issues ever crop up when I'm not uploading? I mean, I'm not on YouTube like 9 months out of the year. Nothing ever happens until I come back and I start uploading
Yeah.
again, and I'm getting my numbers. They're climbing. They're exploding. I'm #1 trending.
The thing is, like, here's one bit of this that I think is, like, you look at it from his perspective, and this is what I said about the Gideon thing too. From his perspective, and he looks at a list of all content creators, and every single one of them isn't black. How is he not going to think that? How is that not going to at least cross his mind? And I ask that to all of you guys that complain every single time there's a race swap or a gender swap with the new Netflix series. Everybody identifies these patterns. Everybody can see exactly what's going on. Now, does that mean that every single time you're right? No. But what it does mean is that if it was being managed properly, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. And this is, again, why it's so important to be fair. Because if you're not fair, everything else falls apart. Because the gaps that you leave, other people fill in with their own stuff.
And then they're like, hey, we need to stop him. We need to, this black man, he's getting too many views. He's getting too much exposure, too much activity. Hold that thought. Let's get back to the current situation. So my YouTube rep assures me he's going to continue this dialogue with the policy team and try to get some answers to those 3 questions that I had. So another day, another 2 days go by, and what do you know?
Actually, you know what? I want to say again real quick, because I just thought of another period to put on the last thing that I said. Do you guys remember how many fucking people said one of the reasons why Quantum wasn't getting suspended was because he was black? Those are probably the same people right now that are talking about how does he know it's racism? Well, how do you know?
They re-age restricted the video.
Hold up. What?
Getting too much exposure, too much activity.
What?
Hold that thought. Let's get back to the current situation.
Okay.
So my YouTube rep assures me he's going to continue this dialogue with the policy team and try to get some answers to those 3 questions that I had. So another day, another 2 days go by, and what do you know? They re-age restricted the video. They re-age restricted the video. I say, no way did they do that. I go to Markiplier's video now, and now his video is age restricted. They got caught with their pants down. They got called out, and then they had to go back and say, oh, whoa, okay, we see the narrative that he's kind of pushing here. We need to take some steps back. We need to just age restrict them both and be done with it. You thought that I wasn't gonna, like, talk about this, make a video about it? You realize how bad this looks for you, YouTube. You realize how unfair this comes across.
It's massively unfair. Regardless of what the context is behind the unfairness, on a surface level, this is massively unfair.
I, in all my years, have never seen a video get age restricted, de-age restricted, and then age restricted again. Have any of you ever seen that happen before? They saw that I saw that there was some unfair stuff going on.
Yeah.
So then they tried to appease me by de-age restricting the video. I say, wait, why are you doing that? Because I sent Markiplier's clip. And then they say, oh, okay, well, let's just age restrict them both. Why is my channel so much more heavily scrutinized than my peers? My peers, and when I say peers, I mean people.
I mean, to be fair, one of the reasons could absolutely be that there are a lot of racist people that actually don't like black people. They don't like you because you're black, and they take your videos and they report them. So YouTube gets more reports for your videos, and that way they get evaluated more often, and negative things happen at a higher ratio. That could happen. By the way, that's still bullshit on YouTube's end.
Around my level, around my view count,
it's
just to keep it simple.
My assumption is that it is probably a confluence of events. It's like it's a pie graph and everything's on the graph to different sizes.
Why is my channel so much more thoroughly scrutinized? Especially so when I've been #1 trending multiple days in a row, which I've done multiple times. And every single...
Like, is this guy, like, does this guy do, like, gambling shit, or, like, I'm assuming he probably doesn't do OnlyFans, he's a guy. No. So this guy is just, he's a clean-cut guy. He doesn't even curse. Oh my fucking God. Wow. My kids watch him? Jesus.
Time I start to get an uptick in traction, an uptick in activity.
So there's no real reason.
Here comes YouTube coming through. Hey, let's get him for that video from 2019. Yeah, you see this, Corey? No, this is bad. It wasn't bad.
Like, what do y'all think, though? Like, how do y'all feel about, like, what I said about it could be racist people that report him? Or also people that just don't like him. Like, I feel like that could be, it could be targeted in that way, too. Of course, yeah, for sure. Like, I think this is, I think there's a lot to unpack.
At the 9 months that I was off the platform, it was only bad when I got back and I was #1 trending.
Yeah.
This situation was only bad because I've been #1 trending since I got
draw
back.
Their attention to it.
Every other YouTuber has uploaded the mortuary assistant. And now they're about to start putting in some age restrictions because I called them out on some unfair behavior. Now I realize that when you call someone a racist, that's a very, very serious accusation. And for that matter, how do you expressly prove that someone is a racist?
It's hard to prove
unless
it.
they're spamming the N-word in the chat. How do you really know? And admittedly, I cannot 100% prove that race.
But it gives you a feeling. And that feeling doesn't feel good. That's what it is it gives you the feeling. Maybe it's a little bit different for me. How do you not get the feeling whenever you're in his position? You know what I mean? You really can't know. Yeah, how do you even know what race people are you're accusing of racism? I mean, I think that it's fair to assume that, I mean, you would assume that YouTube, a company in a predominantly white country, also has predominantly white employees that would be representative of the demographics of the country. Well, I don't know. I mean, I think it's common sense, right? I mean, shit.
Had everything to do with this. But I can tell you the people on that policy team, those shadow people that are anonymous and get to enact their will however they see fit. How can we be sure that they take a black person's video and a white...
No, you're right. I'll correct myself there, because that could be... That's not really true. Like, Mexican people can be racist against black people. Asians can be racist against black people, vice versa. It can go anywhere. It can go anywhere anyway. It's not just white people. Like, I didn't mean to say that. Like, usually it's construed that way, but it is, obviously, there's a lot of shades. Very much so. Yeah, I mean, like, we had shit like this in high school all the time. I went to like 70% of my high school was Hispanic or Mexican.
Person's video, and it can be the same exact video, and they restrict the black person's video, but not the white person's video. I feel I've been mistreated for a long time. I mean, even when we hit 10 million subscribers and I was supposed to get my diamond play button and there was no correspondence. These situations...
Why? Okay, that's fucked up. It's like, again, why is it that continuously happens? You know what I mean? Markiplier doesn't look white? You don't... That's exactly what I was saying, right? There are people, I'm sure, that could be racist against black people. They don't have to be white. Like, I'm not going to get into this. I'm not going to, like, explain this. Anybody with a fucking brain knows what I'm talking about. Any reasonable person can listen to what I'm saying and clearly understand it with literally no confusion.
Always coincide with an uptick of growth.
10 million
and
subs.
it always just
what
comes off
fuck?
like, we can't let this black guy get too high up. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm telling you, that's how it comes off. I don't see any other YouTuber that gets #1 trending many times, and then all of a sudden they're getting age restricted and they're getting copyright strikes and all that.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Point them out. I want to see them. I'll retract this entire video. I'll make a public apology to YouTube.
I would say that Corey should look into the Actman stuff. I think that is YouTube at its worst. I feel like it's evidence that it's not necessarily racism, or at least it's not only racism. Or it could be different flavors of racism. I don't know. But it's certainly more complex. But I think that there could be racism too. Absolutely.
No problem.
Sure.
My dad taught me, if you make a mistake, be a man and address it and apologize. I will do that. No problem. But to me,
if you're doing something wrong,
it comes off whenever Corey Kenshin starts doing some crazy numbers or getting on trending too much. We got to find something. We got to get him for something. He's got to have done.
And isn't that what somebody who fucking hates black people would think? And wouldn't they think that we should go and report him for X and Y and Z bad thing? Isn't that exactly what they would fucking think? Yes, it is.
Done something. I mean, I bleep out cuss words in video games. Like, I literally. This is the YouTuber that you want to have smoke with and have problems with. I believe there is some racism involved within the policy team, and YouTube in general really doesn't care about black people like that. They got their favorite creators. You know, log out of YouTube. Log out and go to YouTube. You'll see the people on the front page every single day. You'll see the favorites. Count how many are black. Count how many are of people of color. So then what does YouTube try and do? They try and peddle YouTube black. They try and give us a spotlight. And do you know how condescending and patronizing that is?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, let's give a spotlight to these black.
This is the same thing that Gideon said, is like, you know, they only exist during February. The same as gay people only exist in June. It's again, like, I really fucking hate this shit. I do, because it sets everybody back so far. And it's like, again, like, it's like the same vibes as like a person that gets in a car, and whenever a hip hop song comes on, they look at the only black person in the car and smile. It's like, that's the kind of representation they think matters. Like this corporate bullshit.
Creators, because we're all about diversity.
Yeah.
All this communicates is black people aren't good enough on their own skill, on their own merits, on their own talent. So we got to give them a spotlight. We got to come down and raise them up so they can get some spotlight action. Well, how about you save all that YouTube black, all that fake patronage, all that fake pandering that you guys do. And when you have a black creator coming to you repeatedly saying, why am I being treated differently than other creators? And then you come back and, we got to age restricted. And then, no, we got to.
It's like YouTube's got a bunch of monkeys at work there trying to put out a fire with gasoline. That's what this looks like to me.
He's on to us. Okay, we got to age restrict them both. Fake! It's fake. That's what it is. I am deeply sorry that this came off as a rant. You know, in the beginning, I wanted to keep my emotions out of it. I wanted to stay logical, stay on the things that I could prove. I gave you the facts, but it also turned into me venting the emotions that I've had built up around YouTube. Ironic that I have to upload this on YouTube, but where else am I going to upload it? You know, I worked hard. I built this community from the ground. It's taken me over a decade to do.
It's a long time.
And I would have just hoped that the playing field was fair and that, hey, if I did something bad, then everybody else who also did that thing should get punished too. Is that unreasonable?
No, it's not.
I have no problem being punished. I have no problem if I break a rule that I get punished for it and I learn. But when you start, like, when it's targeted, when you're doing things only because I'm like getting bigger, or I don't know how it always seems to coincide with that situation. But that's
the thing is, real life's pay to win unfairness, bruh. Just because it is doesn't mean it's okay. Like, I wonder what do you, like, if somebody gets in front of you in the supermarket or they steal something out of your house, cops show up and they're like, man, I tell you something, life is not fair. Man, shit. Life is unfair. Sometimes shit happens to you. It is what it is. That's the way she goes. Anyway, we got to get back down to the station. We'll see you later.
Just what it is.
Oh, sorry about shooting your dog. He was barking at me the wrong way.
Now, if my YouTube channel gets shadow banned or they, like, you know, they start, like, not sending my videos out to my subscribers or, you know, a couple months from now, y'all just stop seeing my videos, we know why. We know why. I mean, those shadows behind the scenes, they control it all. They control all of it.
They do.
If they don't want my channel, they could terminate it right now. They could hide my videos. They could shadow ban me, not send my videos out to anybody. That's why I thought long and hard before I recorded this, but
it's hard to decide to record something like that.
One of the biggest black creators on the platform, I want you to hear it from my mouth that there is some shady business going on behind the scenes at YouTube.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the fucking thing, man. Calling him out will surely help. Well, not calling him out sure hasn't helped. So why not say fuck it? You know what I mean? Like, it hasn't helped before. Check the pinned comment. All right, yeah, I'll take a look at it, man. It's incompetence. I think that, So I will say that I'm not convinced entirely that it is racism because of what happened with Act-Man. However, these are just simply 2 points on a graph. They don't make a line. So I'm not trying to say what I know for sure. But one thing I can say absolutely is that I think that it's probably just incompetence that is driven by unrealistic performance metrics that value quantity over quality. And I find it a disgrace that a person who has 14.2 million subscribers does not have a legitimate guy in there who can look at the video and say yes or no, is this bullshit? This video brought a lot of weird people out, holy shit. The fact is that there's a lot of guys out there, a lot of people out there that every single time they hear somebody talking about, oh, it's racist, or somebody, it's racism or racist, they're programmed to automatically think that it's wrong. It's kind of like the boy who cried wolf. People think that there are too many accusations of racism that are not legitimate, and because of that, they automatically distrust any accusation of racism. That's what happens. It's an NPC. That's an NPC behavior. The fact is that it is not 100% sure whether it's racism or not. But if I were him, I would say that it is, because then maybe YouTube might actually try to do something so they can save face, so they can use them next fucking February whenever their disconnected marketing executives need to use black people to advertise their site again. That's what I fucking think. I think the clowns that are working at YouTube, and Twitch is no fucking better. Twitch is absolutely no fucking better. Remember how many times have we seen a shout out for Kai? Kai's been the fastest growing streamer now for like 2 months. When the fuck have we seen anything about Kai from Twitch? He hit 50,000 subscribers. Nothing. It's horseshit. Absolute fucking horseshit. He just got 60K. Yeah, and the thing is, like, Twitch is worth. Look at Gideon's new video. The thing is, like, Gideon is the same thing. Gideon, this is what's so fucking nuts about it. Is like, yeah, I saw that. Where the girl that had sex on stream, I really, this actually happened. Streamers talking, oh, I'm getting fucked, I'm getting fucked, I'm getting fucked. She actually was. She gets banned for a week. She gets banned for a week. Meanwhile, Gideon does something that was fucking stupid. He hate-rated Pokimane because he thought that she was racist. He made a complete ass out of himself. He totally apologized, acknowledged that he was wrong, and even made it up directly with Pokimane. That's apparently not enough for Twitch, and Gideon remains banned. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's unfair. Fuck him, honestly. Yeah, exactly. And she's a woman, dude. She gives good image to the industry. Oh, I forgot the hierarchy. Yeah, I mean, it changes depending on what the avenue is. It just drives me fucking crazy that people that are so, like, it just makes me so fucking annoyed. It makes me so fucking annoyed. And Coomer Twitch admin, I don't think that's it. I honestly don't think so at all. And all these content creators would be outdoor under 60 seconds. They had a 9-to-5 job. They're so out of touch with reality. Well, they're so out of touch with reality. Well, then, if they're so out of touch and delusional with reality, why don't you just go in and take their spot? Why don't you just go in, just get right in there? Because you're so in touch with reality, you understand the world. Why don't you go in there and give a voice to the average man? But you're not going to do that. You're going to make an excuse. You're going to say you got better things to do. No, you don't. You're watching the stream at midnight. You're a fucking loser, and you always will be. Stay mad. So anyway, listen. This stuff needs to get fixed. It makes YouTube look horrible, and there's no reason for it. Like, there's literally no reason for this to happen. There's no reason for YouTube to have treated Actman the way they did. There's no reason for YouTube to treat Corey the way he did. There's no reason for YouTube to treat Gideon the way they did with him. And it's the exact same on Twitch with Gideon. And I'm sure there are dozens of other people that I can think of as well. Like, that's it. Someone in your office constantly reports you to HR, you don't investigate, and just fire you. That's what's happening? Yeah, basically, man. That's it. And so video calling him out gets flagged for ads. That's nuts, man. And I'm done with you. You hurt my feelings. I know I'm a loser. You didn't have to call me out in front of everyone. Yeah, that's right. Why don't you keep your fucking mouth shut next time? How about that? Shut your fucking mouth. Shut the fuck up. What are you doing coming in there talking shit then? What are you doing? Who do you think you are? You're I'm special. No, you're not. Pathetic. So listen, yeah, get your shit together, man. Anyway, Bozo, for real. And damn, dude, chill. I mean, like, I've got you. Somebody's got to say this shit. Like, people act like that are fucking losers, man. Like, they're assholes. They're fucking assholes too. They're rude, mean assholes that just go around, try to bring other people down, talk them down. Yeah, fuck that, man. So yeah, anyway, I don't want to go any farther into that. Who gives a fuck? I don't want to give that any more attention. I really hope Corey gets his situation resolved. I hope that he can trend because of his quality of his content, not the color of his skin or the performance review ratings that YouTube employees have to meet to keep their job. I think that should absolutely happen. Read the comment. You're right, guys. I forgot about that. I got distracted. This video was immediately flagged for ad suitability. I wonder why. Surely it isn't because YouTube being shown in a poor light. Surely not. I will give YouTube the I will give them the pass on that, because the odds are that ad suitability for the word racism is just very simple. This guy makes kid videos. Content creators that make ads for kids don't usually want to have their ads or their content associated with any type of political discourse or any type of dissonance or anything like that. So I'm not going to automatically assume that that's necessarily YouTube. Like, I don't think that is YouTube doing that to you because of this issue. I think that this is a categorical thing that YouTube does because they don't want to, fuck up the ad deals they have with these people. You see what I'm saying? It checks out. Yeah, that's what I think. And so, what's this here? Massive amount of bigoted people in chat. It's actually kind of sick. I think that people all the time is like they view it as like the boy who cried wolf with people that say racism. Well, guess what? There's fucking wolves out there. There are. Doesn't mean every single one saying there's a wolf is a wolf, but sometimes there's a fucking wolf. Stop thinking about things in the context of something that's unrelated. Look at the actual issue and make a decision off of that, rather than trying to fucking counter-reference this with something that's not even about this. Fast, we should still take blatant racism seriously? I mean, everybody does, pretty much. Just put yourself in that situation. Exactly. That's all I ask. Anybody who's like trying to fucking trying to fucking say this about him, put yourself in his situation. Put yourself in his shoes. Say, if this was happening to me, if I was at work and, I was performing above everybody else in the office, and then I'm the one that gets written up to HR, and I'm the only person that is like, let's say I'm the only man, the only woman, the only black person, the only white person, the only Asian person, wouldn't that at least cross your mind? I think it would. That's all I'm saying. Just try to think like you are somebody else. It's hard to do, but you have to put yourself in their situation, in their shoes, and think about it in the context of them. That's all. I really hope this gets resolved. I think Twitch needs to give more shout-outs to a lot of the upcoming black content creators. It's a disgrace that they haven't. I will continue bringing this up over and over and over, because I find it very reductive to the platform. It's like, well, we can't talk about it. We don't want to promote them. Fuck that. That's a new audience. Those are new people for you shitheads to send your fucking ads to. And a lot of them are younger. They are. And guess what? A lot of them are too young to figure out how to do ad block. And you know what? You can get more ads for them. Stop fucking trying to act like, we don't want to get any close. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, true. Yeah, kids can't figure that shit out. They're going to sit there and watch 5 ads, 6 ads. They don't care. Being disrespected by the company you've worked for 10 years is actually such bullshit. Step up, YouTube. True and real. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm pretty sure Critical's saying the exact same shit that I'm saying. Like, am I right about this? Mm-hmm. I'm sure he'll do a follow-up video. When he does, I'll watch that one. Yeah, you went in on him? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, of course. It goes outside. Twitch, I mean, the Ginian video, like, that's... I mean, I could do this one, too. See, I told you guys that Ludwig would make a video about this, didn't I? I said for a fact Ludwig would make a video about it. He did. Ludwig is a stand-up dude. You can always rely on him to do something like that. Yeah, you're right. I knew he would do it. Thank God. Let's see here. Ludwig has a great take. I will watch the Ludwig version. It's only 8 minutes. And he has gray hair. Oh gosh.
How's it
Let's-
going, boys?
let's
Welcome
stop.
back to
Let's
Mogul
stop.
Mail. Today, we're
All right.
talking about racism. And who better to discuss it than me, a white guy from New Hampshire. Anyway, to
Yeah,
catch you up to
true.
speed, I have to tell you who Corey Kenshin is. He's a 14 million plus subscribed YouTuber who does horror game stuff and some React things, kind of similar to Markiplier's like games that he
Yeah,
would
sure.
play. Very good YouTuber, and he made a video today called YouTube Racism and Favoritism, where he suggests that YouTube could be racist or at least picks favorites. And it is #1 trending on
Watch the
YouTube.
Twitch
A video
version?
about YouTube
Yeah,
being
I know.
racist, #1 trending on YouTube. Crazy. But what happened? Why are we in this spot? Well, I will catch you up to speed. You could also watch the full video for full context, but here's the spark notes of it. Corey releases a video from a horror game called The Mortuary Assistant. The video gets age restricted. Now, when a video gets age restricted, only people 18 plus can watch it. It kills a video. It literally kills all the momentum, all the viewership it would get. So
Yeah.
he immediately deletes it and re-uploads it, but you know, the peak viewership it'll have will never be the same. Forever stunts the growth of that video. He even tried appealing
Yes.
the age restriction, got rejected. So naturally, he's like, why? Why did my video get age restricted? A lot of people were uploading videos of this game. It was popular. He looks around. He can't see anyone else who got age restricted. And his partner manager, which he has because he's a big YouTuber, looked around, and he's not part of the policy team, but it was like, you know what? At the end, there was a part in the game where there was self-harm, and
Yeah.
that could be the reason why the video was age restricted. So Corey's like, bet. Starts looking around YouTube and finds another video from a big creator.
See, like, my assumption is that inside of the advertising contract that these different people have with these companies is that the companies that pay the massive fucking premiums are going to say, we don't want our content anywhere near suicide. We don't want it anywhere near self-harm. How do we know that? Because there have been people that have said they got automatically demonetized or age restricted or something like that just by using those words in their video that was detected with their algorithm, or having that in their tags or thumbnail or title. You see what I'm saying?
That's not age restricted. That creator, Markiplier. Same exact scene was in Markiplier's video. So same self-harm in both videos, only one of them is age restricted. So
Yeah.
Corey's like, well, look.
Yeah.
They're not the same. This is, okay, inconsistent. And then YouTube looks at it, policy team, they're like, okay. And then here, pause for a moment. You'd think they'd be like, all right, we're going to demonetize Marks now.
Yeah.
But what they actually did is they said, you know what? We were wrong. We're lifting the age restriction. Because, you know, it was good for Mark. It's probably good for you too.
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone was like, yeah, now it's time to be happy. No age restriction. That's not what happened. Corey got super mad, sent this email to YouTube, which the balls to send this to YouTube, you know, hats off to him. But he says, pretty damning. I'm inclined to believe racism or favoritism played a part. And then said, I've been trending a #1 multiple days, and I'm being scrutinized heavier than Markiplier. And basically, I would hope that race would have nothing to do with this. Can you prove 100% that it's not racist? That it's not some race being played into this? And that's where this video stemmed from.
He can't, that YouTube can never prove that it is racism or that it is not racism. It's very hard to prove a negative, right? They can't do that. But of course, this is what people are gonna. Yeah, that's a good one, isn't it? Race car, really? I know, guys. I know some people get so caught up in this. They get so caught up in this. They're so down in the weeds. They can't even see what the real problem is. You're so fixated on it. Oh, is it or is it not racism? Why are you so fixated on this? Why is it so important for you to constantly restate that it could not be racism? Why is this so important to you? Stop it.
YouTube receives this
Quit
email.
being
They're like,
reactive.
oh shit!
You're
and
being an
immediately
NPC.
they age restrict both Corey's video and Markiplier's
Yep,
video.
there it is.
Reversing the reversing of the reverse. All right, flipping it all the way back to step
don't
one.
see that a lot.
And they're like, you know what? You were right. We are now harsher on Markiplier. Now it's fixed, smiley face. But the answer is, of course, no. It's not fixed. You can't just flip-flop and then all of a sudden it be good. It still is a really bad look.
That's a good
And he
light
makes
he's
some
got.
decent points, I think. You know, the YouTube moderation team is notoriously inconsistent. And the
Yes.
people who work at YouTube probably have internal biases. That's hard.
I'm sure they have internal biases, but I think that the people that work at YouTube are good people. I think that they are good people that want to do a good job. I don't think that the individual people making the individual decisions for the reviews are the ones at fault. No, I really think so. Surely? Yes. The reason why I think so is that how many of you guys, here, let me ask a question. I'll explain why. How many of you guys at work have some bullshit fucking metric that you have to meet and you cut corners to meet the metric? Okay. Come on. Let's call it what it is. Makes sense. I see it. Yeah. There you go.
Hard to pinpoint. I called
for the
out
government
Susan
every
for
day?
something kind of similar
Sorry.
when I had the
Gotta
interview
get
with
those
her.
threes.
I said this. In dresses that are more showing, it is probably just built-in sexism because maybe they just see girls dressed, you know, as girls do in dresses that are... This is me asking her if her employees who do content moderation are sexist because the Yard podcast, the podcast that I run, has almost never been demonetized except for one episode we smoked weed. But my girlfriend's podcast, Wine About It, that has similar themes, similar topics they talk about, gets demonetized almost every time.
Well, it's probably because it has wine in the title. And it would get demonetized because of alcohol. I mean, that's a possibility. I don't know that, but I think that's absolutely a possibility. Still, though, I mean, bro, let me tell you, like, some advertisers are dumb as fuck. Oh no, wow, wine, how horrible. I completely fucking agree with you. I'm trying to give context of why it could be. I completely agree with you. I think it's ridiculous. How the fuck do you have music videos of Cardi B that have ads on them, but Wine About It podcast gets demonetized? How does this happen?
Or showing, and then it's
Just
just
for
guys
sexual
talking
content,
about,
not
like,
alcohol? That's
cum,
totally different.
And then they're like, that's also me saying come in front of the CEO of YouTube, to which, Susan, I'm so sorry once again, because I realize on hindsight that just guys being dudes. My bad. And that's my theory, is the manual reviewers maybe just have built-in sexism.
Well, I don't think that's the. I don't think.
You don't think your
no.
employees are all sexist?
No. I'm
Interesting theory.
I'm confident that is not the issue. I mean,
well, then what
Susan
is
would
it?
probably also reply similarly to claims that her employees are all just racist. And
Yeah, of course.
And I think the bigger problem at hand
course.
in the real thing.
But what do you think that she's gonna say? She'd be like, "Yeah, well, we don't like black people that much. There are some other races we don't like either, but usually, you know, there's not as many issues with that. But yeah, we try to keep them down where we can. Now, every once in a while, one gets up there, we got to age restrict it or do what we got to do, right? I mean, we people, we got to stick together, right? I don't think that's what she's gonna say. I've got a feeling that's not what she's gonna say. That's a fact. Yeah, true. What do you want to hear? Yeah, exactly. Like, that's not going to happen.
Is that YouTube does play favorites. They do. And I think
course
I'm
they do.
probably on
Everybody
the
does.
side where I get some of the favoritism sometimes.
There's a difference between playing favorites where somebody gets like maybe a cool opportunity, and there's also like playing favorites. It's like, oh yeah, one guy gets put on the front page of YouTube. Oh wow, that's nice. Like, it's not really a big deal, right? Who gives a fuck? It's the same as like Twitch front page, like whatever. But like demonetizing somebody's videos, That's like reverse favoritism.
Sometimes. And I signed an exclusive contract with YouTube. It stands for them to benefit if I succeed, so they probably play a little favoritism. Maybe that's why the yard wasn't getting demonetized.
Yeah.
I will say, after that interview with Susan, 13 of the yard's videos were demonetized. Similar situation.
We never get demonetized, but they do. Susan's like, oh, okay, well, we can fix that. Yeah, we can fix that. I see that. Okay, yeah.
Situation to Corey. The moment I called him out, they were like, okay, bet. Let's make sure we're not playing favorites, and they came for me, which on hindsight, maybe I should have just kept quiet. But it does remind me of another story. And this is why I think it's more YouTube playing favorites and less that the people who are doing manual reviews are racist and trying to keep down creators because of the color of their skin. And it's because of the almost 2 years ago to the date, a story involving Moist Critical.
I don't remember this.
Some of you might remember this. Might be a bit of a nostalgia blast.
Totally don't remember this.
But Charlie tweeted out that he got a strike from YouTube. And his appeal was rejected because he had put something on the screen that was violent or graphic content. It was basically a bunch of mascots fake kicking someone on the road.
Oh my God.
There was no blood or actual harm. It was all like a weird fake prank video. And he got a strike for it. In response to this, because his appeal got rejected and he took it to Twitter, Markiplier, who had the same exact video on his channel, said, fair is fair, YouTube. Where's my strike?
My man.
Same exact guy, by the way. Crazy that Markiplier's in both of these. So one creator gets a strike for something that they have in their video. Markiplier, yet again, does not have a strike, even though it's in his video. YouTube comes back, and they go, bang, all right, strike for both of you now. Boom. But this one has a slightly different ending. They were like, oh, I can't believe YouTube's dying on this hill. That's what Charlie said. And YouTube says, we're not going to die on this hill. You were right. We double reviewed it, and both strikes have been removed. Which, it's never a good look anytime you make the wrong decision the first time around. Anytime you can't stick to your guns, it looks bad, right?
But it looks even worse if you make the wrong decision the second time around and the first time around. And then the third time around, you have to be like, well... shit happens.
It always looks bad. And of course, it's a bit of the opposite of what happened with Corey, because it ends with both of them not having a strike. But it is the same guy. It's Markiplier. And Moist Critical is white, but also probably not a favorite on the YouTube end. I can imagine the guy who brings a Moby Huge into his room and says, you know, something about Poseidon's asshole, maybe not the cream of the crop for YouTube.
No.
And I thought it would be valuable for me to at least bring up this problem. I think YouTube does have their favorites, you know? If you go to YouTube Incognito, you'll see it. It's Mr. Beast. It's Sniper Wolf. It's people who post frequently with not a lot of curse words that are very advertiser friendly.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's a lot of people and a lot of anecdotes of people like Cold Ones or, you know, in this case with Corey, Moist Critical, who aren't treated as favorably as other creators.
It feels bad, man.
Which sucks. You know, it sucks that any time anyone's not treated well on a platform. So I thought I would just bring a bit of light to it, give my 2 cents, and that's about all I got. Thanks for watching, boys. Subscribe down below if you want to subscribe down below, and see you later. Goodbye now.
Oh my God. Oh my fucking God, man. Like, I'm glad that we got this. It's nuts, but it's reverse. It's like leftists crying YouTube employees are racist and sexist. I don't think that it's like it could that could be a factor. Like, what I'm saying is, like, again, people get so like, why are you still thinking about the racism thing? Why do you still why are you so fixated on that one part of it whenever this is clearly a much bigger issue? It's like, who are you trying to convince that it's not racism? You trying to convince me or you? What are you doing? Stop it. So, listen, let's go back over here, and I'm going to go ahead and link you guys. I actually really like Ludwig's second channel. I like watching the videos because he just sits and talks about shit the same as like I do, and I like that because I can react to it. and I generally agree with them. There you go. Make sure to give it a like, give him a sub if you haven't already. We've watched Mogul Mail many times. Many times. So yeah, remember the lawyer guy? No self-snitching. Yeah, exactly. Or I react to the current Twitch drama. The Gideon Twitch drama. I mean, like, I guess I'll pull it up and talk about it. I mean, I kind of already did. I feel like I already did, man. Yeah, what? Like, it's nuts, man. Apology video, Andrew Tate. Wait, what? Oh, final mess. That's a 3 hour. No, bro. Like, we're not watching that whole thing. Nope. That's not gonna happen. Like, yeah, there's just literally no shot. What's this here? 3 hour infomercial. I don't know. React to the Destiny Abridged version. I don't know. What is that like? that's 2 hours. But that one is 2 hours. Yeah, click the short. Where's the short? I guess I'll look at this real quick, okay?
And I'll finish with a quote from my late father. My unmatched perspicacity, coupled with sheer indefatigability, makes me a feared opponent in any realm of human endeavor. And I'll finish with a...
Like, that's nice, but, like, I mean, honestly, they probably just banned you because of, like, the human trafficking shit and, like, the weird shit you said about women. Like, none of the thesaurus stuff. Like, who cares about that? Who's thinking about that? Like, I don't know. Who says that shit? Yeah, it's not that complicated. Yeah, exactly. He decided to use the thesaurus for the first time. I don't know. Maybe he's a smart guy. I think he's probably a smart guy. I don't think Andrew Tate is stupid. Like, I will not say... I don't think... Like, I might think he's wrong. I might disagree with him. But I don't think he's stupid. And so you said, cancel me, I do not care. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, again, it's problematic. I do think it's problematic whenever somebody gets, like, unpersoned by all of the biggest corporations on the internet, and they all just collectively make a unilateral action, and people are celebrating their corporate overlords. I find this to be very unsettling. I don't think anybody should celebrate the use of that power. Andrew Tate's a piece of shit, but that's the way I feel about it. And it shouldn't work that way. I don't think so. And in this case, it's fine to celebrate this. Yeah, I know. People always make an exception whenever they disagree with it or whenever they agree with it. Yeah, that's always how it goes. Yeah, no, I understand that. And if really believes his thoughts on women, at least he's a little stupid. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get into Andrew Tate shit again. Like, it's just, what is this, August 25th? He's on Tucker Carlson. Maybe I should watch this. I kind of want to watch this. I'm kind of curious to see, like, what did he say on the show? Yeah, I'm going to watch this. I haven't seen a Tucker Carlson clip in a long time. Let's do it. I'm ready.
Until a couple months ago, we'd never heard of him. And then the other day...
Wait a minute. Is he following me? This is somebody on a stream. Oh, he's not even logged in. Never mind.
Until a couple months ago, we'd never heard of him. And then the other day, virtually every tech company on the planet banned him. Not just his presence, but also his ability to conduct business on the internet. He was taken off Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all of it. Then they started telling you that not only was he not allowed to talk, but that you weren't allowed to like him because he was an incredibly bad person. And our view on that always is we'll decide for ourselves, since we're adults and Americans, and we'll listen to anyone we want, and we'll come to any conclusion we care to come to about what that person is about.
I think that, like, my line was pretty fair. that if somebody uses the social media websites and networks to commit a crime, they should be taken off them. Like, I think that's really fair. Like, that's what they do to, like, weird fucking groomers and shit like that. They make it to where they can't get on the internet. I don't know. I feel, yeah, that's like, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, it's that simple.
So we sat down at some length and talked to Andrew Tate.
Okay,
and we wanted to show you some of it so you could make up your own mind, which you're still allowed to do as far as we're concerned. Here's part of the interview.
All right.
I don't really feel like I've exposed anything. Like, I'm truly not a very political person. This is the first time someone's experienced this level of ban. I'm not particularly right-wing. I don't vote. I mean, I obviously have my own personal views, but they didn't ban me for that. They banned me simply because I had large swaths of the population.
I would agree that most of the things that he says about, like, what I've seen, again, I've seen probably 10% of things that he's done. It seems like there's not really a exclusive political slant. He just dislikes the leadership, which is like everybody fucking thinks that. That's not very brave either, but yeah.
Agreeing to very traditional masculine values, teenage men and young men, 22, 23, 24, were looking up to me and aspiring to be like me. I have a very traditionally masculine life. I have fast cars and a big house and a lot of money and a beautiful girlfriend. And they thought this was very, very threatening. And for some reason, they decided that it's better if they annihilate me from the internet and replace me with somebody who's more aligned with whatever they're trying to purport.
Tell us what your message is to young men.
Yeah, so I think that being a man is very, very difficult. I think that men's issues are largely overlooked. The people in charge of the world pretend to care.
I would agree that a lot of men's issues are not taken as seriously. I think that recently that's changed a lot, and it's a good thing, but it's changed as a result of people complaining about it. I think that a lot of guys, it's like, be a man. Like, I saw one thing, it was like 2 weeks ago, some girl, some teacher, female teacher, had, and it even had in the news thing, it's like she had underage sex with like her 12-year-old student. Bitch, that's rape. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? And then it makes me so fucking mad. And like, I can understand that, like, there's gonna be the fucking 55-year-old boomers. Where was she whenever I was in school? They didn't look like that then, I'll tell you something. You're gonna get that. I'm not mad at them. They're just boomers. Who gives a fuck? But the fucking news publication, the title of the fucking article. Oh, and the person only got 3 months in jail. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, I can see where guys would be pissed off. I think that's a huge fucking problem. The 3 months, it's disgusting. To be fair, I think that it was a sexual relationship, and it might not have necessarily been explicitly sex. Maybe they were just sending pictures to each other. Well, I wonder what that's called.
But when somebody who's championing men's issues like myself comes forward and finally manages to garner huge percentiles of the public support, I'm silenced. So they're not really interested in men's issues. And there's a lot of young men growing up today that feel very disaffected.
They do.
They feel invisible.
That's true.
The agendas that are being forced down their throats are not agendas they align with, or they feel affinity to, or agendas they want. And I basically just say to men, look, it's a very hard life. You're going to need...
I agree with the problem. I just don't agree with his solution. Like, I do agree it's a problem. Absolutely.
To get up, work hard, go to the gym. Strong body is a strong mind. You're going to have to reject listening blindly to everything you're told. Reject the slave mind. Think for yourself. Get a strong network of brothers, work aside them. Don't tolerate low-quality people in your life, which means don't tolerate men who just smoke drugs and play video games, or men who are disloyal or dishonest. By extension, don't tolerate women or girlfriends who are disloyal or dishonest. And
I really hope that, like, the thing is, with Tucker Carlson, I really hope he asks him about the comments on women. Because, like, yeah, sure, you give the person their opening statement to express who they are. That's totally fine. But if Tucker Carlson doesn't even fucking touch and even press a little bit on the fucking sex trafficking thing, why he left Romania, the videos of him hitting people, and then him saying, oh, she's laughing. Oh, that's crazy. She's laughing so hard, there's tears coming out of her eyes. Wow, isn't that something special? And it must have been a really good joke. And the another thing is there's the thoughts on the views on women in general, right? Things that he had said. Because I feel like if he doesn't even touch on that, Tucker Carlson doesn't even touch on that, I think it's going to be very disingenuous. We're going to have to see. Tucker's a clown. I'm not interested on if Tucker is a good or a bad guy. I don't give a fuck about that. I just want him to give it a fair shake.
Try and build and create a reality full of high-quality people in which you can resist the programming that the Matrix tries to influence you with, and grow up truly happy. And what happens is when I say these things...
I don't understand why somebody like Tucker Carlson doesn't just go up and do the thing that he... Like, say what's real. Like, what's your life about? What has it all been for if you can't go up in front of the whole fucking world and say what it really is? Why? Money? What are you talking about? Fucking money. The guy's he's the heir to Swanson. The amount of money he's getting paid from Fox is nothing. He's doing this for fun. I don't understand.
Ignore 95% of what I say. They ignore me saying that you need to avoid low quality men, and they take the bit where I say avoid women who are dishonest. And then they put it on a reel, a very short 3 or 4 second clip. And then they say I'm a misogynistic person and I'm dangerous to women and I need to be banned. The problem is that the majority of young men in the world today are completely invisible. And social media has made them invisible. If you go into an Instagram feed...
That's true. A lot of guys... I actually had a video that I had planned on watching with you guys. And it was... where is it? Fuck. I'm trying to find it. Did I not see it here? It's one of these. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe it got taken down or something like that. I think that's what happens. Men are. There's a lot of men that are invisible. Absolutely. The fact is, there's a lot of women who are invisible too. It's because a lot of guys don't stand out. They're boring, unsuccessful, unattractive, and uninteresting. So they don't stand out. It's like, wow. Another guy that plays League of Legends all the time and has very strong views on politics. How unique. Oh, he watches anime too. Holy shit. I can't believe it. Of course they're invisible. I think that the problem is that what I wish Andrew Tate would have said more, or would say more, is that a lot of men are invisible because they don't try to do things that make themselves visible. It's the same as if you go into a room and there's 10 girls in the room and one girl is super fucking hot because she works out every day, she's wearing makeup, she's wearing nice clothes. The other 9 are going to be invisible to you. You know what I mean? He does say that though. Well, it's not what it's being implied. Again, I cannot state that he has or has never... Like, I've seen a lot of his stuff. I've seen some of his stuff. I don't know. It has not seemed that way to me. It has seemed to me more that the men, it is happening to them. And I wish there was more messaging about the fact that they are also doing it to themselves. That's my opinion.
You have extremely beautiful women which is fine.
Yes.
They're beautiful. They're allowed to take pictures.
I like
But
that.
the only men who have followers are men with massive social status, right? Men with Ferraris and money, or rappers, or people who have YouTube channels, interesting people. If you're a normal man with a normal job, you don't really exist in the online world. It's very difficult to get followers. Nobody replies to your...
I don't know. I find that to be like a disingenuous comparison, because there's a lot of girls that are normal and they don't look, you know, like if you're a 5 out of 10 girl, like you don't have a bunch of followers on Instagram either. I have plenty of real life friends that are girls. I know this might sound crazy, but I actually know a few girls in real life, and I've seen their Instagram. They have maybe a couple hundred followers. Like, this is very common. It's way easier for women than it is for men, is what he's saying. To do what? Like, I'm going to be honest, man. This might come off as sexist. I'm so glad I'm a guy. I am. I am so fucking glad I am a guy. I wake up and I thank God every morning I'm a guy. Absolutely. If, like, yeah, same? Exactly. You're goddamn fucking right.
DMs, you don't really matter. You don't have access to the sexual marketplace. It's very difficult for you to even get any kind of recognition that you're even alive.
Yeah.
And a lot of men feel lost and lonely because of that.
That's
and
true.
I was championing to a degree
Everything that Andrew Tate is saying is true about men. I'm just saying it's not exclusive to men. However, everything that he's saying is true.
issues by saying to them, look, that is unfair perhaps, but that's the way the game works.
That's
you
right.
need to become a man of importance. You need to become a man of influence,
Agreed.
or you're going to suffer the pain of being invisible forever. Here is how you do it.
He's right.
I wasn't trying to change the rules of the game. I was just telling the men how to win,
right.
because I came from nothing and I'm completely and utterly self-made. And I think the reason a lot of men are so depressed is because they feel invisible. They feel like the life is too hard. Women expect me to be strong and smart and funny and interesting with a nice apartment and a fast car and tall and well connected and funny, and it's just too much for them to handle. And the social pressure on men is absolutely immense. And I was championing their issues. And at the same time, all these social media platforms pretend to care. As soon as somebody they resonate.
Let's be honest. The reason why he got taken off the social media platforms, I personally don't think had a lot to do with him championing men's issues. How do I know this? Because there are a lot of other people who also champion men's issues that are not removed from social media. Right? So it's clearly not because of that. Because if it was, then all of them would be removed too. But they're not. And they even say a lot of this same stuff. They even say that men have it worse in the sexual marketplace. They even say the exact same stuff.
With stands up and champions their issues, they mass blanket ban me, which shows they have absolutely no care for the young men of the world today. They think that by banning me, I'm just going to vanish and the young men are just going to go and start eating the gruel that they're fed on their YouTube feed. They don't want to read. They don't want to see transgender people wear makeup. They don't want to see that. They want to see a man who has a bunch of money and a nice life and some fast cars and is strong and is confident. They want an action hero. And that's something that large portions of the world still want to be.
Oh, yeah.
And YouTube and social media platforms obviously just don't like the idea of that. They want to get rid of me and try and replace me with something they see as far more malleable, trying to create people which are more malleable and more easy to program and more easy to control.
So news accounts in the United States say that the U.S. Embassy in Bucharest, Romania was tipped off.
Yeah, he was about to, the reason why is he was about to circle around to the fact that, you know, one of the biggest culprits of that is mainstream media. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but this is on Fox, which is mainstream media. So they're like, okay, let me just stop you right there. We know where you're going.
To your misdeeds and alerted the local authorities you might be committing human trafficking.
Yeah.
given that this is the same charge they leveled against Julian Assange or a species of it, skeptical, but I want to know the details. Were you arrested for human trafficking? What happened?
Yeah, I was not arrested.
I don't think that Julian Assange was arrested or was charged for human trafficking. I thought it was like sexual assault or something like that. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. He was? It was rape. He was? Okay, yeah, it was a very long time ago. It was rape? Yeah, something like that.
So what happened is I suffered from a case of swatting. It's very popular with people who are large on the internet. Many large YouTubers have been swatted. It's where you call the police and you say somebody has a gun or there's a hostage situation and the SWAT team arrives. Somebody made a phone call to the American embassy saying that I was holding women at my house. The police arrived. And let me state this now. I state this openly to the world. I have absolute respect for the police. I would hate to live in a country where if you call the police saying women are being held against their will, that the police don't respond. That would be terrible. Of course they should come and look. Absolutely. They turned up. They investigated. They realized that nobody was in the house against their will. There was no crime committed. They said, okay, you're not a suspect, but you are a witness to this, along with me, my brother, the housekeeper, the gardener. Everybody who was in the premises at the time was labeled a witness. We had to go to the police station for 45 minutes for pieces of paper. We filled them in and we were let go. I was swatted. Nobody was hurt. There's no human trafficking. There's no women who were tied up. There's none of these things. It's all just complete fallacy.
You probably made some of these companies mad with your views on COVID. So
it's hard to say. Because, like, for example, like he said whenever he was talking about a girl having OnlyFans that's his money, for example. So that implies a level of ownership. And how is that ownership exercised? You see what I'm saying? Like, just because somebody is not tied up in a basement with rope and duct tape over their face doesn't necessarily mean that they're, not still part of this. So I don't know if I'm going to say this. I don't know if these allegations are true or not. And to be honest with you, I'm not going to say that they are. I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't have what the police have. And obviously the police don't know either because they're not trying to get them. There are plenty of ways that they could extradite him. Or at least attempt to.
For us, if you would, what you think the response to COVID globally did to the populations of the West?
Yeah, so I certainly made them mad with my views on COVID. I don't want to go to conspiracy theory, and I would also never kill myself. Let me just say that here for the record.
Okay.
But at the time of COVID first being announced, my brother
not talking
and I
about Hillary
decided
Clinton. It'll be fine.
We sat and had a very logical conversation, and we sat and said, we're two young fighting age males. If COVID can kill us, then the world is over. It's zombie apocalypse time. So there's no point hiding. We may as well go out with a bang. So my brother and I flew to Stockholm, Sweden. Now, I don't know if many people know this, but Sweden never closed down.
Yeah.
Stockholm and Sweden never closed down, never made you wear masks, never mandated the vaccine. At the very beginning of COVID, when the rules were strictest, when Florida was still closed, when Miami was still closed, when the Republican states were still closed, Stockholm, Sweden was wide open with full nightclubs.
That was my understanding.
And a party scene like you've never seen. And we lived in Sweden for 3 solid months with zero restrictions, zero worry or interest in COVID. It was like the world was completely normal. And from there, when we left, obviously COVID was still going on. And in a neighboring country, you go to Germany, and they were having full panic attacks, genuine panic attacks if you didn't have a mask on. And it was just very obvious to me. I was like, I've spent the last 3 months ignoring this, and I'm fine.
I mean, one factor that's different with the U.S. and Sweden is there's a lot more fat people and unhealthy people here in the U.S. So we're going to get more people that are going to be hurt by COVID because it's like a multiplier effect. Just saying? Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, Sweden's a more healthy country. So I think that there's going to be a higher probability. It's like, and this is always what the problem with talking about COVID was, is that nobody actually wanted to have a genuine conversation. Nobody ever wanted to talk about, other variables like this. Like, oh, well, you have population density, you have, transmission, you have the, general, well-being of the population. They just don't even want to talk about this. That's why I never talked about COVID on my screen, because it was just a waste of fucking time. Really, like, I found it to be more useful for my time to talk about the BLM riots and stuff like this. I thought that was a better chance of me getting through to people what I thought my message was than COVID. Nobody wanted to talk about anything. They brush you off and you present facts. Of course they do.
And now I'm in Germany, surrounded by panic attacks,
right,
and endless mass. This doesn't make sense. And I told the truth on social media. I said, this is obviously an overreaction. The decimation of your income, the fact you can't go get a doctor's appointment for a genuine ailment or a genuine risk of cancer, for example, the fact that you can't see your loved ones in their final days, these things are far more destructive than the common cold. I think that what they're doing is unfair. I think it's a massive overreaction. And this is based on my personal experience. And I think at the time there was a lot of pushback, but I would like to think now that 99% of the world see I was totally right.
I don't know about that. It's kind of hard to say. Like, it's like you can't say that he was totally right after the fact, because a lot of people have the vaccine. And let's be honest, it seems like people that have the vaccine probably get COVID a bit less. Like, they probably get COVID a bit less, and it's not as bad. On average. This is an on average thing. Never had it. Yeah, not true. No, they don't. But the symptoms are lighter. They also die from heart attacks more. I've heard about that. I'm not sure how true it is or not. But what I'm saying is, like, obviously this is not a very good assessment, because most people are vaccinated now. So you can't compare the two things.
It's kind of funny, Tucker. I'll tell you, when at the height of COVID, I used to say to my brother,
what's this here? I had long COVID after catching it for a year. Second dose vaccine, you lose your protection in a year. A chat scientist. Let's look it up. Let's see. How likely are you to get COVID if you have versus don't have the vaccine? Well, let's see if we can get is there an easy way for me to look this up? I'm trying to see for myself. Yeah, Google for COVID info. Keck W thinks Google isn't censored. What? I mean, like, so it's either true or it's not. Literally really hard to look up. Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to say. You're going to get lies and government answers? Well, how do you know what you're getting isn't a lie or a government answer? How do you know that you're not just getting a different flavor of lie? You don't. People always think that the thing that's different is the thing that's true. Sometimes it's just two different lies. Let's see if I can find this. There's no graphs. Where the fuck are the graphs? God fucking... How is it so hard to find information about this? This is insane. This is absolutely insane. No easy response on that with all the different variants. Yeah, it's insane. Yeah, I don't know what to say. And check back in 10 years when somebody does a documentary of this shit. Yeah, exactly. Whole point of getting vaccines is your body build immunity against virus, right? Why does COVID vax not work like the chickenpox vax? I don't know. Like, I mean, you guys would know. Throughout the whole thing, I never told people, oh, you should go get the vaccine. I never said this. I never said not to do it either. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Yeah, I've never said that. Why not? Because I don't know. The people should make their own decision. Here we go.
How will people struggle with the cognitive dissonance?
If I can't find, by the way, if I can't find a graph and I can't prove it, then as far as I know, it's not true. I think that it's true that like people that had the vaccine probably got it less. But if I can't find any data on that, then fuck. Like I'm not gonna die on that hill. Sure, maybe I'm wrong on that.
Dissonance when this is all over, because COVID is still out there.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's gone away. The thing that we were all hiding from is still right there, out there to get you. But now everyone walks around and they're not scared of it anymore. And I'm like, are people critical enough to analyze themselves and say, for a year...
Haven't COVID rates been going up? I've heard from somebody that COVID rates... My dad said that COVID rates were going up. Yes. Yeah, I think that, yeah, because it's over. Well, it's because people don't give a fuck anymore. People have like even with Donald Trump, probably by the time it was like 2018, 2019, it was like, yeah, Trump's the president. It is what it is, right? People at a certain point just get tired of being upset and worried about something. And they just want to move on with their fucking life. I think that's what happened. How do you know the media rates are going up? Because the media says it is? Yeah. I mean, yeah, everything could be a lie. I mean, for sure. Like, that's definitely a factor. Like, that absolutely could be the case.
Of my life, I was deathly afraid of something. Now
Sure.
I'm exposing myself to said thing, and I'm not afraid anymore. The media tricked me, and I was a fool. But they're not. They don't even seem to self-analyze and go, I got tricked. They're just like, oh, okay, next thing. Hey, Andrew now.
Well, it's because people, like, they think the same thing that I think. They think that because people got the vaccine, COVID is not as bad. It doesn't put as much of a strain on the hospitals because the symptoms aren't as bad. And so it's more manageable by the government and the different apparatuses that are supposed to deal with health problems. So that's why people think that it's different. That it's logical. Or you have more information now? Yeah.
Like robots. It's mind-bending to me, truly.
So I saw you compare the experience of rich people under COVID, you're one of them, to everybody else. What did you notice about that? It seemed like a two-tiered response.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so the story was very simple. I was flying inside of Europe. There's a lot of low-cost air carriers. It's only low-cost primarily. There's not much first class, business class, anything like that. And I was flying, and my experience was plagued by endless paperwork, wearing a mask, put the mask over your nose. Every time you eat, you have to put the mask on in between. I got told off for not having...
In Texas, brother, let me tell you something. That wasn't a situation. That just wasn't no motherfucking situation over here in Texas.
The mask up
Never
high enough.
was.
I got told off for drinking too long because my mask wasn't on.
What's a mask?
Pure panic and chaos. And because I'm fortunate enough to be fiscally secure, from there I decided I'll just buy private jets from now on. And when I bought a private jet, there was no masks, no paperwork, no mask at the airport when I landed. My air stewardess was not wearing a mask. My pilot was not wearing a mask. COVID didn't exist once I bought a private jet. Very interesting. Maybe if you're rich enough, COVID can't take, maybe COVID's scared of money. I'm not sure. But it seems that everyone who's flying on private jets never had to worry about COVID ever. It's just the people at the bottom who had to worry about COVID.
Well, of course they had to worry about COVID. That's why they were fucking singing bullshit in their bathroom and posting it on Twitter for validation. How many celebrities did that during COVID? Oh my God, that drove me crazy.
COVID. And it's kind of interesting, right? Life's always been two-tiered. There's always been this separation in regards to fiscal access. But I think a lot of people in the world today don't realize that it still very much exists. And a lot of the rules are only the rules for a certain class of people. And once you pass a certain wealth index or a certain level of money, you can do basically whatever you want. And COVID really highlighted that to me. And it's truly sad.
I'm glad that he says that, because he's totally right. Yeah, he's totally fucking right. Like, you know, the list, who's the Ghislaine Maxwell? The fucking Jeffrey Epstein lady. Where's the list of people? Who are the people that she was trafficking? Well, I don't know. I mean, you know, who has any idea? It's like, yeah, who could possibly figure out who these individuals are? Bobby Kotick was one of them. You know that? Yeah, if you make enough money, you don't have to follow the rules.
I mean, it's easy for me to make a joke of it, but when I would fly on a private jet and do whatever I wanted, or go to Sweden and party in nightclubs and do whatever I wanted, and then I'd come to, let's say, England and see my friend who couldn't go see his dying grandmother because of a COVID restriction.
That's too much.
That's truly sad.
Yeah.
That's truly criminal. It's really crazy what's happened and how the world's just moved on, and the cognitive dissonance that people don't have enough respect for themselves and for the truth to analyze how they were so easily fooled. It's really sad to even think about, but maybe that was the beginning of me being disliked, by just pointing out my human experience.
This is the way I looked at it, right? Is like, as somebody who is not a scientist, okay? Not a scientist, got a C in chemistry. It's not my thing. I don't really care about that kind of stuff. I usually would wear a mask, you know, especially with my mom, right? I couldn't take a chance on if it was fake or not. I couldn't take a chance on if it was, you know, the common cold or not. Not with my mom. So I had to wear a mask, right? I did that. And so that's obviously what I did. I even wash my hands sometimes. Now, in my mind, this was like the logic that I had with why I thought a mask would work, right? So, damn, wait, what? Wait, what did I say? Out of character? Oh, wash my hands. Oh, yeah. I thought I said something bad. Anyway, so I talk a lot. And I spend a lot of time talking in front of a glass desk. I have a glass desk, and every week or so, I look at the desk, and I see little bits of, like, spit. And by the way, I'm not special. You're the exact same as me. And so I clean my desk. And I assume that in those pieces of spit, there exists a potential that the COVID virus could be in that spit. And so to the extent that the mask blocks the spit, it will probably reduce, not remove the chance of, reduce the transmission and acquisition of COVID. That was my logic. That's what I thought. So yeah. That's literally how it works. And so that's what I thought. Well, I guess now maybe that's not true. Maybe that's not the case. But that seemed like a good idea to me. You know, a C grade chemistry student. That's why I did it.
Experiences during the pandemic. But I want to tell you something that's actually kind of scary about this banning.
Yeah.
It all came so hard and so fast.
Same grade.
That I don't know if they all just follow each other. I don't know if they're all influenced by each other. I don't know if there's someone above them all. I don't know. But when they go to cancel you, ladies and gentlemen, it comes hard and fast.
I think the reason why it happens is that the different companies don't want to be the one stuck holding the hot potato, because that could make them less attractive to advertisers. So I'm not 100% on board with it being a cabal. I don't know that it has to be, because everybody acting in self-interest would result in the same outcome. So I can't rule one or the other out. But what I can say is that imagine if Facebook was the only group or the only website that didn't ban Andrew Tate. It's the same thing as people today went and they said, oh, Rumble platformed Andrew Tate. What do you think the odds are that people are probably going at the Rumble advertisers and saying, hey, listen, like everywhere else fucking got rid of this guy, why aren't you doing it too? I think that it's all a bunch of fucking big tech companies that have a, let's be honest, fiduciary responsibility to make as much money as possible, and they just view him as unprofitable because they could potentially lose advertising money because of him. You see what I'm saying? You see how all this, canceled by capitalism. Yes, that's correct. I've always been of the mindset that any boycott doesn't really fucking matter. Like, most people don't give a shit. And they don't last for a long time. So I don't think that a lot of these problems really manifest in anything that matters one way or another. But I think this is what they believe. It's like 3 people send an email to the PR representative. Next thing you know, there's a board meeting and $100 million decision is made. Because of 3 or a half a dozen emails about some fucking dipshit on the internet. That's what I think happens.
Facebook, then your Instagram, then your Gmail, then your Discord, then your website hosting, then your domain name, like then your payment processor, then your bank. Then like it's just like in real time you're watching your phone and apps just exploding. Boom, boom, boom. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely it. I mean, like, there's one of the times you need to realize you're wrong. What am I wrong about, Jazz? What am I wrong about? Let me read and see what I'm wrong about here. It's a cabal. They won't realize the list because they're on the list. But it is a cabal. Oh, I need to realize that I'm wrong because it is a cabal for sure. So here's the thing. You don't know that. You think that. Don't forget that. Don't forget it. You don't know that. Just because you think it really hard doesn't make it true.
Andrew Tate, you don't have to agree with everything a man says to believe he has a right to speak in public.
Let me finish it.
And we do believe that. No one gets to tell you who you can watch. No one gets to tell you what you have to think. No one gets to tell you who you have to hate. You're an American and an adult. You can make those decisions yourself. So why don't they want you to hear from Andrew Tate? They really
I think, like, I mean, honestly, like, Tucker really needs to do a better job, man. Like, I've seen some of the things, like over the years, I've seen a couple of things from Tucker. It's like, thank God, he's, like, the only person saying fucking something that's true. What a bunch of dumb bullshit this is. You're on a network that you replaced Bill O'Reilly because they fucking got rid of him. The fact that you're sitting there is because somebody else got canceled. The fuck do you mean? And then also, like, they can't tell you who to hate. Yeah, oh, really? Go back to like, he's older than I am. He fucking knows this better than me. Remember back in 2002, 2003? Imagine, like, voicing any sense of solidarity with the innocent Afghanis and Iraqis that were bombing. Or Muslims that are being called responsible for 9/11. Meanwhile, their grandfather grew up in New Hampshire, and so did they. Just what a bunch of horse shit. This has happened many times. And like, the thing is, the reason why saying stuff like that is so bad is because in everybody's mind, they immediately are going to think this. Like, I'm not the only person that thinks this. I think a lot of people would immediately think, oh, wait a minute, like, what about this? What about that? It's like it's unnecessarily disingenuous. You could have said something that's it's harder to just immediately disprove. The Japanese Americans in the 40s. Yeah, remember that? Well, we'd had the same constitution then.
He's a worse influence on the youth than, say, Cardi B. Tell us how. They're telling us he's a criminal. Okay, has he been charged? Who are the victims? What are their names? It's going to take a lot more than that to have us believe he should be canceled. Or
I want to see Tucker live react to the video of him hitting that girl. I would want to see. Let's get a reaction video, Tucker. How about this? How about we sit you down and we can get 10 minutes of the things that people find are the most disagreeable things that Andrew Tate has said about women, about other people, things that he's done on video, and you can watch it, and at the end of the 10 minutes, we'll see what you've got to say.
anyone else, by the way. We're against censorship, period. And more than anything, we're in favor of people making up their own.
Didn't people get kicked off Fox News for not supporting the Iraq War? I was very young then. I remember this relatively clearly, but I think this has happened. Yeah, I don't agree with this. I don't think this is true. 30 years ago? Didn't we just pull our troops out like months ago? I mean, yeah, it happened a long time ago. Yeah, sure. All right, fine. Okay, it was in 2005, right? Somewhere around there, 2003, 2005. Okay, whatever. All right, yeah, copium, it's different. Sure. I'll have to think about more recent examples.
Minds based on the evidence, like adults do.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, you can watch the full unedited interview with Andrew Tate after the show on Fox Nation.
Great.
Of course, Tate's not the only person who's being censored. Virtually everyone's being censored. The Pentagon now punishing service members for liking the wrong tweets.
I'm not in the military. I don't give a fuck. That's about it. I don't care about that. Yeah, what's going on? I don't know. Censor from a private company? I bet you wouldn't be saying that if your internet company cut off your internet. I bet you wouldn't be saying that. I bet you wouldn't be saying that if your power company cut off your power. Why don't you think outside the box a little bit? Why don't you think outside the little square that they put you in, and think about the fact that a half a dozen of these massive media conglomerates have effectively a monopoly on the control of information on the entire internet. You tell me that that's a good thing with no fucking oversight. It's not the same thing. Oh, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Oh, do you need the internet to live? Sure, I'll grant you water. Sure. You don't need the internet to live. No. Nope. I remember all these facts during decades old. I mean, because I was there. That's why. Yeah, I was fucking there. Dug themselves in so many shitholes with this extremist ideology. Yeah, I know. I think that, I think this was, I didn't watch the whole interview on the Fox website. I don't know about that. Like, I think this was like, I feel like this interview was for his base. It wasn't for journalism. It was for his base of people that want to hear about how the social media platforms censor people, and he didn't actually give, like, he didn't really ask any questions, because, like, Andrew Tate, like, I mean, nobody's going to argue with the shit that he said in the first like 5 minutes. Like, even the COVID stuff is like, okay, whatever, right? Like, I don't really give a fuck about that anymore. But the reality is that it had nothing to do with either one of those things. Yeah, it's every interview on Fox. I find it to be so fucking disappointing. It's like, imagine you get to be literally the top of your fucking profession, and you still have to simp for a fucking, why do you simp? Like, who are you simping for? Like, just a bunch of, like, morons? Why? I don't get it, man. They all do the same shit. I'm not singling out Tucker Carlson. They do it on CNN, MSNBC. I agree with you. I don't like any mainstream media. I think that there's shades of gray, but none of them are in the clear. Yeah, I'm not about this, man. Fame-seeking, soulless people. Nobody's going to remember the person that stood up and said the same thing that everybody else did. I'll tell you that. It's very disappointing to see. Yeah, it's just very, very disappointing to see. A lot of independent media is also really bad. Yeah, I also want to say that before I fucking go on a rampage talking about how bad mainstream media is. Bro, like, you think about like, oh wow, like the federal government's so corrupt. Look at the Uvalde police. Shit is corrupt at the highest and the lowest level. You want to know why? Because there's people that run it. Don't believe any news. What I do whenever I want to find out if something is true or not is I'll read a tweet and I'll look at the comments. And the first comment is like, this is actually not true and here's all the evidence why. Every fucking time I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, how many guys you guys, like, usually whenever I will do something, I will usually look at a couple of different sources and then be like, okay, this probably happened, right? Or like, you know, like, okay, this probably happened because of this probable reason. That's about it. It's good heuristic, not 100% reliable. Nothing is. Corruption isn't a binary thing. No, you're right about that. Yeah, there's corruption like, you know, we'll make it easier for your son to get a driver's license. And there's corruption like, you know, we're just going to not release the Epstein files. I think there's a difference there. I don't know. But again, I don't know why he, like, just stop playing to your base, man. Like, holy fuck. Like, you know, Tucker Carlson's like the most popular guy in news. Did you guys know that? He's Mr. Number One. And he's got to pull this simp shit. Can you believe this? Oh. He's got a ton of simps too. It's just, I get so upset. Yeah. So Ziza, yeah, I know who that is. That's that Eastern European guy that always gets mad. Yeah, I know him. Boomer News, yeah, I know. Get over it. He's just selling it. Get over it. I know. It makes me mad. It makes me mad, man. Like, why you do that? Like, the thing is, like, now that people watch the videos and like watch the show a lot, like, I feel like, bro, like, I'll talk about whatever the fuck I want, and like, I'll say the shit nobody else will say because it's like, man, who gonna stop me? You know what I mean? Like, now I can do what I want. And I've gone against the audience a lot. Like, there's been a lot of times y'all have disagreed with me. Now, I've obviously been right in every circumstance, and the audience has been wrong in every circumstance. But, you know, it doesn't matter. Like, I'll still say what I think, even if everybody disagrees. I don't know. I wish more people were able to do that. Yeah. You get banned everywhere and say whatever you want? Not really. I mean, like, I don't think so. Explain, why do you require conviction from Tuckers, but you yourself resort to the online? It's all nuance. You never know. Let's not make hard statements, cynical takes. I've made a lot of hard statements. And, like, I wasn't asking for Tucker Carlson to go up and make a judgment call on this. I was just simply, like, whenever I interview somebody, I ask the hard questions. I do. Like, every time I interview people, I will not skip around bullshit questions. I think that I do. Yeah. Goodfellas influence so young people become gangsters and killers? I don't know. I mean, like, it was a movie. Andrew Tate's not a movie. Like, you asked Ian? Yeah, I asked Ian a lot of hard questions. What do you mean? Like, what did I not ask him that you think that I should have asked him? Like, I asked him a lot of hard questions. You're very easy on Ian. What should I have asked him that I didn't ask him about? The only thing that I wish I had asked him about, and if I ever get another interview, I promise I will ask this, is that, do you think the WoW token and being able to buy the WoW token makes the game pay to win? That's the only thing. Like, and I will tell you that, like, if I can't ask that question, I won't do the interview. Because it's fair. Like, it's a fucking fair question. Nobody thinks that. Gamescom interview questions weren't very critical. It's not that kind of an interview. Like, that's not a news interview. I definitely think you're being overly harsh on Tucker for a full person of an interview. What the hell is this? What the fuck? Overly harsh on Tucker here for a portion of the full interview. I think that's so disingenuous to say, Ani, though. Like, I mean, isn't it? Because, like, oh, well, it's in the full interview. Well, like, fuck, why do you... Like, you chose to let him sit there. Like, oh, well, we only have 15 minutes. Well, then why is he fucking going and spending 5 minutes at the beginning, what's the word, just, like, talking about himself? Being harsh. Like, did they vet your questions for Ian? They did. They didn't reject a single one of them. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like I asked... Yeah, he's monologuing. Dude on Reddit with a vanilla server blade in contact with you? No, I haven't seen that. I'll have to look at that. They played the highlights. The highlights about how bad getting canceled is. Like, I don't think that people see the biases in media from two sides, because they always assume that the side that they agree with is not being biased. But I think this was a biased interview. You're bullying my reporter. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not one of these people that only hates Fox News and listens to MSNBC. I don't do that. I'm not about that. I've never been about that. I can meme on Fox News or CNN or any of these other places. I have no unique hatred of Tucker Carlson. I just wish that he would have done a better interview, because there's so many fucking people that watch. It's frustrating for me to see that. So, of course, Tucker stuff is loaded and biased. They allow him to say whatever he wants. Well, why don't you fucking say what's true if you can say whatever you want, man? Generally, people don't become bare minimum when it comes to researching news. I guess so. In regards to saying full interview is better, I say it's bullshit. They only played highlights. I think it is. I think it's true. They did only play highlights, but I think that the things that they highlighted were deliberately crafted in a way to make Andrew Tate look innocent. Do you see what I'm saying? It was deliberately crafted to do a certain thing. Give me a minute. I gotta get on this dog shit game. Narc win? I'll watch it tomorrow. It's to fit Tucker's narrative. It's like, why do you care about a narrative? Why does the narrative matter to you?